Signs like this one can be seen throughout the Athens community. These signs promote keeping the school district small instead of consolidating it into a larger one.
Reporter Katharine Morey joins us live outside the meeting. Katharine, what's going on?
Eric, in just a couple minutes from now, students who attend Athens City Schools may be moving locations. The facilities master plan is expected to be finalized and will cost tens of millions of dollars. But the biggest concern for parents is where their children will go to school. The school board decided on a plan last week and is voting to finalize the choice tonight. In addition to constructing new buildings, the plan would place sixth graders at an expanded Plains Elementary rather than an earlier plan to place them in the middle school closer to the center of the city. In addition to relocating hundreds of students, parents are concerned the restructuring will create larger, less effective classes.
The reaction to school size has probably been the loudest voice. It's contrarian to the recommendations that were put forth.
The facilities master plan would be likely completed in segments, beginning with the demolition of the East and Morrison Gordon elementary schools and constructing two preschool through third grade buildings on those sites. Plains Elementary would receive an additional wing. The plan would cost an estimated $45 million. A Nelsonville landmark that stood for more than a century comes to a close. Good afternoon, I'm Katharine Morey.
And I'm Caitlin Coolidge. The First Christian Church in Nelsonville has provided comfort through 2 world wars, the Great Depression, 9/11, and our current challenges.
But the one thing it couldn't deal with is Nelsonville's declining population. Ohioans are calling for a change in birth certificate certification for people that identify as transgender. Transgender Ohioans who want to change their birth certificates to reflect their gender are filing a lawsuit against the state over that policy. The ACLU and Lambda Legal filed the lawsuit. Plaintiff Stacey Ray says she was embarrassed, harassed, and threatened after a human resources employee policy noted the gender on her birth certificate does not match the gender on her driver's license and other legal documents.
I was referred to as the freak, and the female coworker said if she ever encountered me in the women's restroom that she'd beat me up.
Aaron Baer with the Citizens for Community Values said he doesn't condone threats Ray experienced. He says the ACLU is sacrificing medical accuracy for political ideology.
What they're trying to force the state to do here is falsify medical records.
The ACLU says Ohio is one of 3 states that has not changed its policy on transgender people and birth certificates. A new U.S. intelligence report predicts Russia will meddle in this year's midterm elections. The Global Threats report also says the risk of conflict with North Korea is higher today than at any time since the end of the Cold War. National Intelligence Director Dan Coates tells the Associated Press that cyber attacks are on the rise. He says Washington must craft better responses to minimize these attacks. Today, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson urged members of the U.S. coalition who fought the Islamic State to help rebuild Iraq. Tillerson is also pushing back against Israeli Deputy Minister Michael Oren, who said the U.S. has no leverage on the ground in Syria. However, Tillerson disagrees.
The United States and the coalition forces that are working with us to defeat ISIS today control 30% of the Syrian territory.
Tillerson says the U.S. has enormous support in terms of seeking a future for Syria, and if communities in Iraq and Syria cannot return to normal life, we risk the return of ISIS taking and controlling vast territory.
Time to see what's going on in MacArthur, and to help with that, we turn to the dynamic duo that is the Vinton County lead reporters, Katharine Morey and Jerry Curvin.
Nick, the Lady Vikings got exactly what they wanted this week. Easy wins. The girls steamrolled Marietta 73-39 on Monday. Seniors Darian Radabaugh, Cassie Bentley, and Aaron Jones lit up River Valley 78-29 on senior night.
Yeah, somebody obviously left the white flags at home those nights because there was no letting up for the Vikings. This team is ruthless, and with an 18-1 record, they look primed for the playoffs.
Ah, the playoffs. My favorite time of the season, and like you said, Jerry, the Lady Vikings are in perfect position to make some noise this postseason. Their dominance this year has earned them a great reputation. The girls have the most high-powered offense in the TVC Ohio, and teams will struggle to keep up. Cassie Bentley inches closer to her 1,000th point. Morgan Bentley continues to be a walking bucket, and their depth all around is something that can contribute.
The boys narrowly escaped in an overtime victory against the Athens Bulldogs. I'm here with Vinton County reporter Katharine Morey. Now, Katharine, it sounds like there's some bittersweet feelings in MacArthur.
Nick, you're right about Vinton County fans having mixed feelings right now, but I'm someone who likes good news, so I'll start with the boys. The 4th-seeded Vikings headed to Logan Friday night, where they faced the 5th-seeded Athens Bulldogs. Throughout the game, the Bulldogs bit at the heels of the Vikings, but neither team was able to pull away. Friday's game was the epitome of a playoff game. Every possession counted. It came down to the final 4 minutes of overtime, where Jake Speakman dominated. He scored 8 of the 11 points on his own, including the final basket, ending his night at 22 points. Major props go out to Cameron Heyman, who racked up 17 points and shot 100% in the field. As they look ahead to the next round, Speakman reveals just one of the many secrets to Vinton County's continued success.
We're just kind of enjoying this. We've got a rule, Combs always says, 24-hour rule. Just enjoy it. Even if we lose, get over it next day.